Dave Roberts now available.
Happy belated, Alana. Is she working today?
First questions from Alana Rizzo. Go ahead, Alana.
Dave, good morning. Not surprisingly, Seager not in the lineup today. Any additional information about your shortstop?
First of all, happy belated birthday. Secondly, not more importantly, Corey, there's no update on Corey. It's kind of the same progression, treatment, no baseball activity. Feels a little bit better than he did 2 nights ago, which is a good thing. You know, it's going to be a day-to-day thing. We're not considering the IL right now, you know, as far as the back date. We just want to give it a few days and kind of reassess.
Do you guys have an MRI machine here? Is that something that teams are doing, or do you typically just still send guys out?
Send guys out. I'm not sure where we send them, but there's the X-ray machine. But as far as MRI scan, we send them out.
Okay. What do you like about this left-right matchup against Gossman today?
You know, Gossman's sort of neutral. I just think that, you know, you look at the Giants' pen, there's a lot of lefties they can match up. And I think that for us to kind of go left, right, left, it just poses a little bit of more of a challenge. You know, and I just like where our guys are lined up in the order.
How valuable is Chris Taylor, and does Chris Taylor get the recognition that Chris Taylor should get?
Chris Taylor is invaluable, you know, to me, the organization. You know, I guess I say this a lot about, you know, our guys. He's a pro. He does everything the right way. Things that come out of his mouth are the right things. He's all in, and to play whatever position, hit in the order, to come off the bench, you know, whatever I ask of him, he's in for. And I even looked at just recently, over the last few years, he was one of the top 20 in WAR in all of baseball. So to that question, I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves around the league. I think his peers and opponents understand it, but I don't think he would have it any other way. He's kind of an under the radar, just kind of put my head down and perform.
Yeah, he's not a me guy. How much has Beatty improved, do you believe, defensively as he gets the start today at first?
So, yeah, I wanted to give Chris a day off. Obviously feel really good with Kiki at shortstop. And then for Matt, I want to make sure that him and Edwin get at bats. You know, I can't expect them to perform off the bench if they don't get starts. So I think that to be able to push Max over there to second base, to get Matt a few at bats today, play first base, which I trust him over there. It's a good thing all around.
Okay, Dave, thank you so much.
Yep.
Next question's from Dave Hasse. Go ahead, Dave.
Dave, has there been one player that you feel has been affected the most by the start and stop and start again?
You know, it's I think there's a little bit of that's a tougher question. I think that they've all been affected in some capacity, which you already obviously know that. You know, some guys, I think more of the guys that were late to summer camp, you know, because we all had to go the start stop, but then now you had another stop or delay. For some guys, I think that's a tougher, you know, adjustment. But I think our guys have really done a good job of not letting affect them. I really don't believe that that's why certain guys are struggling. I mean, you know, that's probably, it might be the case, but I just don't want to entertain that.
As far as evaluating your players, what's a fair amount of games to evaluate them under the circumstances?
You know, I don't know if there's a number of games. I think that we always talk about 100 at-bats in a 162 game season. But I think for me, it's more of just making sure guys are trending in the right way. The at-bat quality, staying in the strike zone, the work, I don't ever worry about the work with these guys. So as long as, you know, I see Max putting the barrel on the ball, I see Cody taking better at-bats, I see Justin always getting on base, so those are things that I kind of look for. And, Will Smith, it's a very hard 250, 230. I mean, he's been very unlucky in taking good at bats. So those are things I look at more so than, how many games we need to kind of change courses.
Thank you.
Next question's from Eric Steven. Go ahead, Eric.
Dave, I was wondering this year, with games with no fans, how has that impacted like home field advantage, or do you think it does?
It does. I just think that when you're playing in other ballparks where they don't draw the way we draw, maybe not as much, but here it's a big change. It's a big difference. And I think that when you're talking about the later innings with relievers facing us with stress, for them to have to deal with 50,000 Dodger fans on their feet, it's a lot different than the piped in music. So those young relievers, or any reliever, I guess, as an opponent, it's considerably easier, in my opinion.
Are there ways for some of those pitchers who might be affected that you can like replicate that, or they just have to figure out different ways to get sort of amped up?
No, I just don't. I don't think so. I think that guys are trying to find anything they can to, get that motivation on the positive side, on the plus side. But on the other side, I just don't think. I think that there's a governor on how high you can put the crowd noise, as a home team. So it's just kind of just the bare bones of just, you got to just outperform your opponent.
Yeah. One other thing, your game notes keep the rotation in the same order, which means would mean 4 days rest. Is that going forward for the Padres series? Is that correct?
That's the plan right now. Things obviously could change, Eric, but that's the plan right now.
Thanks.
We got a question from Elaine Elliott. Go ahead.
Hi, Dave. Just curious, based on Walker Buehler's first 2 starts, what are you looking for from him today? Is there a pitch count? I mean, are you looking at his mechanics? I mean, what exactly are you hoping best case scenario from him today?
I would say best case scenario, 6 shutout innings. Walker is very in tune with his delivery, and this would be his 3rd start. So I think it's just more staying in the strike zone, not getting kind of rotational. Sometimes he gets a little rotational. And when he starts to miss to the arm side, or the cut fastball, the slider doesn't get to the glove side, those are things that we want to stay away from. Velocity should be, it should be 96 to 98 today. Expect his rhythm to be good and put us in a position to win the game.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, guys.